Shauna again. Welcome back to 30 Things to Store, where every day this month we are talking about a handy item to have around your house and giving you some tips on how to store it. We are on day 5, and today we're going to talk about sewing and mending supplies. And some of you might be saying, why do I need sewing supplies? I don't sew. But the reality is that sometimes a needle and thread really are the best fix for a problem. So it's handy for everybody to have at least some basic supplies around their space. Now, the old-fashioned option, the thing you might think about when you consider storing sewing supplies, is something like this, right? This is Grandma's old sewing basket. And these are still around. They're still handy. They're good because on the lid of them, typically, there's a pin cushion to store your needles in, and there is kind of another pocket here. And then inside, there's a tray that lifts out that's shallow to hold small things, and then a large compartment underneath to store larger supplies or fabric scraps. Very handy, works well. You can get these at a Walmart or a Target even now. But some of you might be saying, that's not really me, and I don't have that much stuff, too much space. So there are other options. You could also try a craft box. A box kind of like this. This one happens to be pink, but you don't have to get a pink one. You can get one that's clear or gray or something like that. And very much like this, the basket, this one has a tray that lifts out. And the tray is handy because you can keep the shallow ingredients up top, put your larger supplies underneath. One of the reasons I like one of this size is that it's large enough to hold a pair of scissors. And if you can, I recommend keeping a pair of scissors with your sewing supplies, because inevitably when it's time to go and try to put that button quickly on, you don't want to have to be running around the house trying to find the scissors. So a pair of scissors can stay with your supplies. Simple. Some of you might say, that's still bigger than I need, Shauna. I really don't have any supplies. No problem. We can do something even smaller, kind of along this lines. This is just a small hobby box. Opens from the top, has some different compartments on the inside, and you could say all I want to keep is the basics. Maybe you're going to have a spool of black thread, a spool of white thread, a needle or two, a couple of buttons. Done. That's all you want. Very simple, closes up, small, slides in a drawer, very easy. And still, some of you might be saying, nope, that's too much. I do not have that much. So this is what I say. If that's you, and you just think you'll never pick up a needle and thread, I recommend you get something like this. This is the sewing kit that you might pick up if you stayed in a hotel. All that is in here is a needle or two, a couple of different pieces of thread of different colors, 2 white buttons, and a safety pin. Even this is better than nothing. So if you have no sewing supplies at all, the next time you're in a hotel, bring the mending kit back with you. Obviously, this can go in a drawer or any kind of little box that might sit on your bedroom dresser. It could go in a bathroom drawer. It's good to have at least something. Now, if you sew a lot and you have a sewing machine and bolts of fabric, that's a significant storage need, and that's different than what we're talking about today. There are great solutions for people who are big sewers and have that as a hobby, and you could always email me if you need some help with how to store significant amounts of sewing supplies. So that's about it for today, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on 30 Things to Store.